Connects. That fault line is huge. Here's the rolling thunder. Right through them into the face. Jorgamo is not messing around. He wants the action. He wants the smoke. They still know where the last player is. Ethan Anderson towards the side. Boostio. He supplements.
Wow.
That tight squeeze. Everybody
is falling. What an idea by EG. What a cool round to pull out. EG just gave us an absolute masterclass in how to use ults in Valorant to help you win rounds. They're playing against DRX here on Fracture, and we're going to start off with the round that you just saw, which was actually a save round for EG as well. You can see here that they only have one rifle between them, but they do have a Brim ult and they have a Breach ult as well, and this is how they're going to use them. They're going to start off with a south side pinch, and you can see that DRX have 4 members of their team on the south side. So you would think that, you know, against an eco, even with some ults, the DRX, you know, might be able to deal with this. But let's take a look at how it plays out. So it's going to start off here with these 3, where we're going to Brim Stim down here for these 3 guys, and they're going to run out. And then Com gets through the door here, and now he's going to start droning, as you can see on the screen. Whilst that's going on, we've got our other 2 players here in Jorgamo and Ethan. They're just slowly creeping their way forward. These guys are going to be the kind of, you know, start of it all, but Jorgamo's our one player with the rifle, so they're going to try and get him really in the position to, you know, deal as much damage as they possibly can, because he's the one with the rifle. So as this drone comes out, DRX quickly destroy it, but they continue with their aggression and start spamming shots. We then get this stun from Ethan that you just saw down there, which I'm pretty sure tags all 4 DRX players, which is kind of crazy in and of itself. But you see that DRX have countered these guys. They've sent out their own stun, they sent out a Prowler, and they sent out their nade. So these guys have kind of been stopped for the meantime, but that means that that utility isn't coming to these guys, so they're going to start pushing forward now, as they are the ones that kind of become the start of this all. The dart comes out from Com just there, and now we see a nade flying over Ethan's head here from Jorgamo as well, and now comes the Breach ult. So in goes that Breach ult, and Jorgamo is now flying in behind this as well, because they potentially feel like with the Prowler and with the stun and the nade that there might be some aggression coming back to these guys. They actually pop their own Brim ult back here as well. That's actually not going to catch anyone. In fact, it actually kind of slows them down, but it doesn't matter because Jorgamo's about to fry. The Breach ult is going to catch all 4 of these players, and it's going to be in EG's favor.
Right through them into the face. Jorgamo is not messing around.
Now, if we just pause it here and come back to this moment, Jorgamo's just got the 2 kills and has been traded by Stacks. These guys are stunned, but Ethan here only has a classic. And the way that Ethan plays this situation from this point is very, very important to the way that this round plays out. Because if Ethan takes this duel with Stacks right here in a 1v1, sure, Stacks is, you know, coming out of the breach stun at this point. He's been, you know, flashed, but, you know, by the time that Ethan potentially can kill Stacks, it'll probably be too late. Stacks will probably win this fight. And the thing is, if Ethan dies, that creates a big problem for EG, because their Brim ult is still kind of going off. And that means that DRX could just run this way. And if DRX managed to escape with the spike, we'd end up in a 3v3 with the spike down on B, and they know where these players are, and Buzz is in a really good position as well to potentially cut EG off from coming this way. So, you know, it probably wouldn't go in EG's favor there if Ethan dies here. But the way that Ethan plays this situation, just take a look at this. He doesn't take that fight. He tucks himself in. He makes sure he doesn't die, because as long as he doesn't die, his teammates are coming to help him. And he can be the distraction, right? They think that, hey, the pressure might have been, you know, has come away from this side, and this guy's only got a classic, so we can go and kill him, think DRX. And that's what DRX try and do. But Ethan realizes this, and realizes that, again, his job is to just survive as long as possible to allow these guys to come out. And so he aftershocks down here, making sure that he can't get pushed, whilst the rest of his team come out and they push, and they get both of these kills just here. And it just goes to show how EG, you know, what a beautiful round of Valorant on an eco here, and they'll clean it up from this point against Buzz.
Side, Boostio, he supplements. That tight squeeze, everybody has fallen, and Buzz, the only reason he's still alive, he's well away from the action on the north side of the map. Let's see if he can do it again. The triple face will deny any chances. A Thrifty, that's back-to-back from either team.
But now let's come to round number 9, because of course, while the set plays are nice, you also have to be able to use your ults on the fly, and that's what EG shows in this round. DRX are going to go here for a pretty fast Sands play, and you'll see that we start off with EG kind of looking towards Arcade, and they don't find too much, and so they start to rotate and believe that DRX are going to come in for this kind of A hit, and that's exactly what happened. So you're going to see here that the smokes come in from DRX. We get this Prowler sent in as well that's going to lock onto Demon 1 just here, and I think Demon 1 here is putting down this smoke, so he's actually going to get caught and bitten by this Prowler as we get Flyyyyy here blast backing through the door. Now, whilst that's going on, we can see here that we got Ethan and Com, and the drone is about to tag Flyyyyy, okay? So Flyyyyy is going to blast back across. He's going to manage to kill Demon 1. The dart from the Sova drone, though, is going to tag Flyyyyy. Ethan's going to get that kill, but then Ethan's going to get traded back as well.
Prowler out. Drone to set it up. Fault line as well. Already working their way through. Lit up. Gonna be the kills returned.
And so it's a 4v3 in favor of DRX, and they're now coming in onto this A site, and they're about to use two ults themselves. One is this Fade ult in towards the spawn, and then they're also going to breach ult this A site as well. But take a look at Com. He already understands what's going on. He's instantly going to start backing up here as the pressure's coming into this A site, and we see both of the ults on the map come and hit these players, and obviously Boostio now is just in a ton of trouble. But you saw that Com was already backing up here, and the reason for that is he knows he wants to use the Sova ult, and this is what I mean about this kind of mid-round quick decision making, right? In the moment decisions, because this Sova ult from this position is really good at stopping the players towards Sand from coming towards the site, but also the players from A main. It's kind of the perfect angle for it, and that's going to help Boostio, who is also going to hit a nice shot while stunned. Right, it needs to you know, decrease the stun accuracy of the first bullets, in my opinion, but we'll see how it plays out.
He's locked up, yet stunned up, still lands the kill. Bullet to the cranium, Hunter's Fury to supplement and help out in the back.
So we're now left into this 2v2, but Jogmo actually at the start of the round didn't have his ult, but he's come and picked up this ult orb, which means that now he does have his ult. And take a look at his raise movement here and how they play this 2v2, because again, another ult is going to win them this round.
Start to swarm this one, it's a 2 versus 2. Spike picked up, nade to deny, and another showstopper in the back pocket. There's a shock dart, or at least the recon. And there's a showstopper. Rocketing forwards, blitzering pace, Jorgamo to clean it up.
But it's not just the defense side either, because some of EG have dyed their hair and they've got the anime buff right now. So on the attack side, it's like JoJo. 1-1-3 default to start here in round 16. But again, you're going to see the way that they use these ults is just kind of, you know, very, very good. And they win rounds off it. You'll see here that they actually don't have any ults to start the round, but they're going to come and pick up this ult orb for Ethan here on the breach and create a bit of pressure towards B main. Whilst that's going on, Boostio comes and takes a bit of space towards Arcade, and Demon 1 is just holding for any A main aggression, which is about to come from DRX, as we can see. So DRX, they're going to flash out here. This flash actually doesn't catch anyone just here, and you'll see that some of the things with DRX where they were just a little bit off, right, where Flyyyyy is kind of swinging out here, and he's kind of way ahead of, you know, even RB, who's kind of a second player to this, and you'll see that Flyyyyy ends up swinging into multiple players. And take a look at, if we take a look at this still now, you'll see where RB is, right? He's way, way, way ahead of his teammates here, even with that flash, right? And they did have more utility if they wanted to use that as well, potentially. And so eventually DRX, they feel like, oh, there's a lot of people there, we don't have the numbers to fight this, we're going to retreat. But the call starts to come in about this point from EG of what they want to do, because they're going to run a play that I've seen them run before, where, okay, they're going to drone A main, but what's going to happen is 4 players are going to cross the rope, and Ethan is going to be left here alone towards A main. And this is the thing about this play, that I've seen them run it before, and I've always been a bit like, it's a bit, maybe a bit sketchy sometimes, this play. But you'll see they start to come towards drop, and the idea behind this play is Ethan is alone here. He's going to ult, and then the rest of the team, or Jogamo, is going to blast back towards A main, and he's going to come and clear this out and basically pinch on A main, and the rest of the team is going to exec from the drop there. Now, you know, this, I think, was a play that I've seen before them run, and so I thought, you know, anytime that EG have a breach ult on attack, you know, maybe you want to exploit this, maybe you want to try and pick off Ethan, who, you know, does look vulnerable at this point. But because this has happened mid-round, because there's, you know, already things that have happened in the round, and they didn't actually start the round with an ult, it makes it a bit more tricky for DRX to, you know, hard counter strat in the moment, going, oh, Ethan's got a breach ult, you know, they might be going for the same main play, particularly when you've seen the majority of the players actually already on the south side. You probably don't expect this play to come in, and that's what makes it so good for EG, that, you know, this is kind of the extra layers that they've added, that, you know, it's not just all preset plans. There goes your breach ult, in go the smokes, Jogmo starts to come in as well. They actually send a dart in here also, and Stax is actually getting hit by the breach aftershock. He's about to get hit by another stun from Ethan down this way as well, as EG come and swing from all of these different angles and basically pinch on Sands, and you're going to see it goes very well for them.
There's a dart at his back, the aftershock slowed to a crawl. Smoke dropped down as well, it's cut it all the way up, another stun for supplement and swing through. Fight to be taken this way, that way, evacuation, and shots rattled off.
That is immaculate from EG. I mean, what a play. How creative is that? Find a player at door, breach ult them, Sova dart them. You've got Jorgamo coming through on one side, Ethan on the other. This team's creativity is unbelievable. You think historically, it's DRX that we've discussed as the team that creates set plays.
Let's finish with round number 17, where EG are going to go for a TMV and Friends special, because this is a variation of a play I like to do in my ranked games that you could do as well, where if you've got a Killjoy, you come and just put it here underneath B, like everyone does, and, you know, it's a very good Killjoy lockdown, and it does quite the effective job of taking this site. Now, normally in the TMV and Friends game, what we do is you can have a Brim ult paired with this, where you Brim ult just in here, and basically your opponents have to choose between the Brim ult or the Killjoy lockdown. You can also, if you've got a breach, send a stun in with it, and EG are basically going to run a variation on that TMV and Friends play, where they are going to do the breach stun across here. Instead of a Brim ult, though, we're going to get a Sova ult across here, and you'll see that that's going to get them the first kill.
Really effective against somebody like Buzz, who's been anchoring tower a lot, but DRX have read it and they're playing off-site.
Fully away out of it. Fault line Hunter's Fury right in the gap of where they were going to be standing. I tell you, man, this playbook you print it out, you'd be weighing down the desk.
It's so deep, it's so good.
And so we end up in this 5v4 with the spike now planted for EG, those ults getting them that advantage. But we're going to see a pretty nice attempt here from DRX, all things considered. They're going to do pretty well to clear out tower just here between the nade and, you know, players kind of flooding in onto the site. Demon 1 will be able to get a kill here on Stax, but that gets traded by Buzz just here, and they manage to punish Jorgmo and will end up in a 3v3.
Throw in. You think it's going to be standard? Not quite at all.
Oh, I like that, though.
Just a nade to try and clear out tower. Satchel, the movement's quite nice, but again, another nade to push it back, so 69 can't quite swing onto this. Fight taken, tower cleared out.
So we're now in this 3v3, and the only players EG have left are two towards B main, and they've got Ethan here underneath, who is going to play for his aftershock just in a second, but you're going to see some really good utility here out of Ethan again, where DRX now, you know, now that they've cleared the rest of the site, start to push towards B main. We're going to see a great stun by Ethan, and then Boostio is just going to clean house.
Might be done there, but do they have enough to try and disrupt this post plant setup again? A taste of their own medicine. There's an aftershock waiting underneath tunnel. Find him a couple of seconds, but a fight needs to be won out here. Com, Boostio, playing together. Tap onto the spike, Boostio wins his. Fault line's really nice, and they want to take it to him. It's Boostio. Beams him down, rifle in hand, util to supplement.
A solid anti-eco puts EG up at map point. And this match, or map, has been a nerd's delight.